Ladies and gentlemen, young man got started in network marketing 25 years ago, was in my former company, did very well, got over to ACN, has done very well. He was on last week with his beautiful wife, Miss Darlene Evan, his business partner, Mr. Reggie. Mr. Reggie was with them last week, Larson. And I just want to say thank you for doing an outstanding job. And one of the things I love, he goes back to the back office. He shows you stuff that a lot of us don't miss and we don't look at. But he also breaks it down real simple. And I love his videos and things. He keeps it real simple. So without further ado, can we give a warm welcome for the month of August? Say thank you for his service. The one and only Mr. Curtis Evans.
Glad to be here today. We're not going to take a lot of time, but it's going to be a hopefully something that can help you grow your business. Now, let's talk about business for a minute. I want you to talk about who you are. More than likely, you have to remember the house that you were raised in. Whatever house you were raised in, your mother and father taught you a lot of things: how to shoes, how to eat, how to do this, how to do that. And you grew up that way. That's who we are today. You know, we hold on to the things that those folks told us back there today. Today we're teaching other people how to do those things. Back in the day when I was growing up, the big deal was to get a job, and you wanted a good job, and something stable. And you wanted, and I mean, there's a lot of millions upon millions of baby boomers were trained to go get a job and get a good job. And that still happens today. It's not something new, nothing novel. But you know, for the most part, we have learned that we stop right there. Our learning, most people's learning stopped when they got out of school. If they got out of high school, they stopped learning. If they got out of college, they stopped learning. And the difference between the people on this call and everybody else in the world is we're constantly improving. We're constantly getting ourselves better. Most people you talk to, they're on a high school level or junior high school level, talking about, you know, sports, girls, and football. I mean, sports, girls, and cars, or something like that. If you talk about anything else, the guys that I know, they don't know anything else. It's just those three subjects. And so we have branched out because we decided we didn't just want a job. Job is fine. I'm not knocking a job. Sometimes you need money coming in so you can pay bills. Okay, I want all of my customers on the line, all my customers to have a job so they can pay their bills. Okay, and so the job isn't bad. However, there's another place in this world that you can be at, and that is having a business. And everyone on this call has a business. And I venture to say, if I were to ask everybody to raise their hands, everybody that got a residual check last month knows that. A residual check, most people don't know what a residual check is. A residual check is a check that comes every month. It comes because if you did a lot that month, it comes. If you did nothing that month, it comes. But now I'll tell you, a residual check is the hardest thing in the world to get. Okay, so most people have one. It's called a Social Security check at some point. As that Mr. Commerce calls it, a social insecurity check. Okay, because really what you got is you work 40 or 50 years, and after, you know, going to work at 20 and 50 years later, 70 or whatever, then you decide to apply for it and you get this check coming in. That's residual check that comes every month. Some people on disability, they can't work anymore because of a bad accident. They get a residual check. But the average person does not know what this is. So when we throw the word, I'm gonna show you how to build a business, how to get a residual check. Most people don't know what you're talking about. Back in the day when I was working, you had a check in the hole. You went to work the first week, they didn't pay you. The second week they paid you. You had a check in the hole. Everybody knows that it is. But nowadays, you don't even have that no more. A person goes to work on Monday, and on Friday they get their check. They don't even have a check in the hole because now you don't have all the accounting and all that going on in the background. It automatically gets the check. It dumps it into the checking account that you have. So people don't have a checking hole. A lot of folks don't have a checking hole no more. The world is changing. And when the AI gets here, fully gets here, everybody has it now. But when it fully gets here, it's on level 5 now. But as it goes up, it's going to change again. This world is about to make some major changes. And you guys, everyone on this call is on the right side of those changes. Now I'm going to tell you why. I, by myself, could not get a contract with AT&T. I couldn't go out to AT&T and say, hey, I want to market some of your services. They'll say, well, you need $2, $4, $3 million to open up a building and hire some people and all that. I couldn't get a contract with T-Mobile or with Vivint. So what I'm saying is we have 10, 12 products, more coming out this fall, and we didn't have to go secure a contract. we didn't have to go get attorneys to put an agreement together that they're going to pay us so much from each customer's bill every month. And then that we didn't have to do that. So when this AI thing hits, when all these people become unemployed in the next few years, as all this starts to happen, we have a business, we have a service. We, by signing up for $324, we have a service. And by signing up for $324 and getting an IBO number, guess what we have? We have a contract with AT&T. We have a contract with T-Mobile. We have a contract with Vivint. We have a contract with ID Seal. We have a contract with the car insurance company. We have a contract with the health insurance company. We have a contract with the homeowners insurance company. We'll have a contract with a bank. All that for how much? For $324. You couldn't get an attorney to write a business, put a business license together for you for that. But because we were brought up in an age when the job was such a big thing, having a job was a big thing, we could discount what we have. We could discount and not really understand the power of what we had and how much it would cost to be able to do what they ask us. So for $324, now when I got started, it was $500. And then we put 1,000 in. My wife and I came in on separate business groups, and Reggie and all of us got together. So what I'm saying is $500. I didn't think $1,000 was a lot of money. To start a business, how could I get a contract with those big companies for $1,000? And that's what we put into it. So when someone balks at you about $324, you can spend the time and show them the value of it, like I just did with you. But I think it's going to fall on deaf ears, because they just don't get it. Okay. So what I want everybody on this call to do is first to appreciate the company that you're in. Okay, as this company grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and go from a 1 billion to a 2 billion to a 5 billion to a $20 billion company, if you're along for the ride and you were working during that period, you're going to have a happy ending. It's going to be a happy ending. It's called a residual ending. So your residual check will grow and grow and grow. They even have a system. You go in the back office, you can see the system. You want to work hard to get to become an RVP. And when you're an RVP, well, every position pays residual, no matter depending on how many customers you have and your team has in the company, you're going to get a residual check. But as you move to the right, I want you concentrating on the promotions. And I had to reset myself. Reset yourself to concentrate on your next promotion, because that's how you get bigger and bigger residual checks. If you want a big residual check, you cannot stay there at ETL. You got to move over to RC, because now you are looking over 200 points. As you go to RD, now you are getting paid on 600 points. And as you move to RVP, you're getting paid on 2,000, 3,000 points. You see? So getting to the next position, how do I get to the next position, is going to be our key thing. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that today. You by yourself have to learn how to build a team, okay? And then you by yourself going to have to learn how to get people to conventions, okay? I mean, they know you and they know a few other people. When Mr. Thomas comes to town, he fills the room. And then when he leaves, the room goes back to where it was, because that's just what happens when a speaker comes in. But what I want you to do is to learn how to get people to the convention, get very good at getting people to the convention so they can see what you see. They can see what you see. And then sooner or later, some of them are going to get good at getting people back to the conventions. And as you do that, you'll see that you'll be moving to the right-hand side of that page. You'll be going from ETL to RC to an RD to RVP to SVP to SVPP. You'll be moving because of the quantity of people that you have at the convention when things are announced and they are able to meet new people and see new people. So I will tell you now, I'm going to show you something now that's going to make sense to you. The reason you probably are not doing that is because you're worried about what people think. I mean, this is a big problem with most people. They're just too worried. You're worried about what people think. Okay, in the company I was in before, I'll just use that name, Excel, we had a saying, pass the peas, please. Pass the peas, please. And this is what that means. I'm gonna use Daryl Ransom for an example. Daryl, I'm gonna use you as an example. I don't know you, but I'm gonna use you right now, okay? Did y'all hear that Daryl Ransom went bankrupt. He went bankrupt. He lost everything. They came and got his car, and he lost his house. Man, isn't that bad? This is me and my family sitting around the table talking about Daryl Ransom. Okay. After I say that, my wife will look at me and say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Could you please pass the peas? Could you please pass the peas?" Do y'all understand what that means? Huh? Okay. Or could you, I'll use Jed Miles for a few minutes. I'll just pick on Jed. Jeb. Jeb lost his car. We were at work and the repo man came up and picked up his car and everybody was talking about it. It's only 10 of us there, but we was looking out the window and they picked his car and said repo on the side. Jeb ran out the office. He ran down the street, but he ran behind the man and stopped the guy. The guy, no, don't pull my car. I'll make the payment tomorrow. It was really embarrassing for him. And man, it was really sad to see. And what would your husband tell you at the table? Oh, that was really bad. I'm sorry they did that. Could you please pass the peas? You're not that big a deal. That's what I'm saying. We think we're that big a deal. We're not that big a deal. Nobody's going to be talking about you. You're not that big a deal. I'm telling you. And so we're so worried about that craziness in our brains, that we're so worried about that we can't build a business. In other words, you never asked people to look at your business. You never invited them. The reason you didn't invite them, you were worried about what they were going to think about you. You were worried about what Al Randolph was going to think about you when he heard about your repossessed car. You were worried about what Cush is thinking about you when he heard about your house going back. You're worried about if when you ran out of gas downtown, you didn't have a gas jug and you were really low in money, you didn't have no money, and everybody's talking about you. You're embarrassed downtown, and nobody gives anything about that. All they want right now is what? Some peas. That's all they want, some peas. Okay? So I want you to get into, because you can't invite people if you're too worried about how they see you. They see you now, later they're going to see something else. You got to invite them because you don't know who they know. That's why you didn't call Mr. Thomas. If you would have called Mr. Thomas and not worry so much about what he thinks about you, he would have came into business and he would have put thousands of people in that leg. You need 6 legs. He would have put thousands of people in that one leg of yours, okay? If you weren't so worried about, I'll just use Gregory Williamson, because you were worried what Greg was going to think about you. Greg, you put Greg in, I'll call him, Greg is ready to get in, he signs up. Greg will put thousands upon thousands of people in your organization. But you never called Greg. You never called him. You never called Al, Mr. Thomas. You never called Adrian O'Neill. You never called Janice Mason. You never called Edith. You made a big mistake when you decided that Maria Estrada was doing so good, she would never be interested in nothing like this. You decided that. Now remember, they didn't decide they didn't want to come in business with you. You decided that. So this old saying we have from our old company is get them off of your conscience. Get them off your conscience, okay? So when they come back and see you later on and they say, man, you made $2 zillion, you're moving to a big city, got a car, plane, hey, whatever you got, why don't you call me? And you're like, and you're feeling bad because we're friends and you never called me. Why didn't you call me about that? Get them off your conscience now. So when you call them, say, hey man, I got to get you off my conscience. Well, what's wrong? Hey, listen, what are you doing Tuesday night at 7 o'clock? He says, I'm nothing. Most people are going to tell you nothing. I need you to come take a look at a business. Okay. I just got started. I have a guy, Al Randolph's going to do a presentation for us. He's going to show us how to make some money because I'm trying to pay off this house. I need you to come take a look at it. That's how you invite them. Ask them first what they're doing on Tuesday or Thursday at 2 o'clock. I mean, at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And when they say nothing, that's exactly what they're doing. Okay. They're doing nothing. Then you invite them to a call. Okay. And they'll come on and then introduce the speaker. The speaker is James Clark. I don't know how I got him. He's going to show us how to make some money because I'm trying to pay off my house. That shows, see, the company's really careful about us showing how much money's in this, millions of dollars in this business. But they just don't want you throwing out those big numbers. Sometimes you have to. But for the most part, if you tell them about something you're trying to pay off, they'll see that you're not talking about making $200 or $300, that you're trying to make some really serious income. Okay? So I want you to invite. What could cause you not to invite? What could cause you not to invite? Al Randolph told me no, but his son likes stuff like this. So he introduced me to his son. Okay. I called Rick. Rick said, this is not for me. I mean, at the end of the call, it's not for me. I like what you have there, but it's not for me. But you know, my brother likes stuff like this. Okay. So what you don't look at Rick or Greg or James, what you're looking is get through them. Who do they know? We talked last week, and I'm gonna do it again just for the heck of it. Mr. Thomas brought a guy into business and just for those that weren't here last week, if you're gonna unmute your phone, did you know in Dallas, Texas, what is it? I forgot his name now. Mr. Thomas?
Lee Lemons.
Lee Lemons. Did you know Lee Lemons?
No.
How did you get him? How do you come in your business?
A referral of a friend of mine who was just too good to do network marketing.
A referral?
Yes, sir.
Did the guy ever come into referral? Did he ever come in? Did the guy ever come into business?
No, not the guy that referred me. Never came in.
Never came in. Y'all see that? And he's done that over and over and over and over and taught it over and over. And we had 25, 30,000 people down in Dallas, Texas, 25 or 30,000 packed in there once a year in August. And he was teaching. Al would teach on stage. We call him Al, everybody else call him Mr. Thomas. You know, I call him Al, but everybody else call him Mr. Thomas, okay? But what I'm telling you is you got to look through the person. Don't look at them. You're saying that girl, she won't be no SVP, so I don't think she could be interested. You don't know that. One. Two, she may know a SVP. So you have to, but don't be so into how they're going to see you. Yeah, they're going to talk a little bit of trash at first. They're going to talk some junk at first. Let them talk junk. But the main thing is to get Mr. Harris Mills off of your chicken list. We call it chicken list, or, you know, make sure that you have, you want to make sure you introduce the business to him. And it's how you do that, that skill of how you do it. And I want you to get so good at inviting that it just rolls off your tongue. You shouldn't have to think about what to say next. Let it roll off your tongue because you were practicing it so much. And then I'm going to tell you, the people I know, they're going to talk an hour after I call them. So you got to have a call coming in. I can't talk right now. I got a call coming in because you can't finish. You can't get to talk to the next guy because they're talking about high school basketball and who won the game and the junior high and all kind of stuff. So you got to get on. Okay. Does everybody understand that? Now I'm going to tell you in conclusion, your real problem, because it's my real problem. It's everybody's real problem. The real problem is not that you don't know people, is that you won't call them. And it's something that you're saying, something up there in their head is right in your head. So if you put a list together, when you put the list together, you putting down people, oh, he needs a job, she needs to work, this person ain't got nothing to do. That's the list you're putting together. The list that you're putting together needs to be everybody, okay? Everybody, because if they're not interested, fine, they know someone that is, okay? And that's who you're looking for, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Now, I explain why the biggest problem is you are worried about what they think about you and they're worried about the peas, okay? That's all they're worried about. Just hand me those peas. I don't care about Daryl and that car going back. Daryl who? Which Daryl was that? What did you say his name was? Huh? A car? Okay, well, he shouldn't have bought the car if he couldn't afford it. Hand me the peas. You know, that's all they're talking about. Am I right or wrong? He shouldn't have bought that BMW. You know, he don't need no BMW, and that's why they come and get it right there at the job, huh? Yep. He came out with the key in his hand, and the car was gone. That's what everybody laughing about. You're so worried about that. You're so worried about that you won't call him. You won't call him. And he's not worried about you. All he's worried about. Okay, so this is a little video I'm going to show you. It's a real short one. And this is a guy. I love Porsche. I love the cars. I have one home. And he and I don't know Jerry Seinfeld, but he and I share that one thing. Okay. All right. I've been watching him for years, but he has something to say to you guys. Okay. He has something to say to you. And I want you to pay really close attention to it. I'm gonna close by saying the reason you're not doing as well as you can is because you're not calling the people and asking them to take a look at the business. Okay, you got to get eyeballs on your business. No eyeballs. You only got your 200. You need 10, 15 on it Tuesday night at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock so they can look at the business. Okay, let's get going. So I want to drive that point home. And that's how this guy has the $30 million Porsche collection. That's why, because everybody that did this, I don't care who they are, the movie stars, entertainers, politicians, they couldn't have got to where they got if they were worried about what the people in their neighborhood was thinking about. They couldn't have got there. You can't get there because you're too worried about nothing. Remember, feel the fear, because you're going to be scared. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's Beth Henson told us that a couple of times. Feel the fear. Just know if you're a little worried about calling somebody, that's okay. Call the guy, all right? Call him, call the girl. Call Mary or Maria Estrada. Yeah, everybody's scared of calling her. Oh, Maria, call her, okay? Call George Solomon. Call Pierre Richards. Call Evelyn Maskey. Call them. They're interested, and stop worrying about what whatever you're thinking about. They're worried about. You cannot. It doesn't matter. Okay, it just doesn't matter. So that's all I have for today. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. The floor is all yours.